taken the liberty to print out the whole entire assessment so that you don't have to flip inside the books. But I do know that friends, you also want to get to know in your book. I do have those page numbers already for you. Yeah, I have the teacher manual, but I took the liberty of just printing everything code hard copy so that you didn't have to flip back and forth.
I text her.
Okay. All right, so I would love just to start off with what are some glows? What are going on? What is good? What is good? What do you feel is going well in your classroom? Name one thing. Who wants to begin?
I can start. They're really liking, like, they really grasp the PowerPoint thing and knowing, like, common and non-common means that we use to sound often or not that much.
Okay. Adding on?
Yesterday, we got through all of our lessons, like just following the schedule. And I used my timer, so kind of helped.
Ms. Mack?
Using my timer helped. I like how it says on the lesson, how many minutes. I'm just getting used to going, I'm here, timer goes off, I'm moving on.
Morning, Turner. What's one thing that's going well today? Oh, well, not today, just in general, since you started school. What is one thing you want to name?
Their kids kind of getting the hang of CKLA.
Getting hang of
Every day.
CKLA. So I wanted to just note, you guys have actually had 2 observations in the past couple of days. Friday, Ms. Jackson walked through, and then yesterday, Satara and I walked through certain classrooms, and we noticed that you guys are teaching the curriculum with fidelity. Give and take pacing, of course, we're still learning about the pacing, but overall, we're seeing people use the materials, we're seeing people use the lingo, especially coming from foundations. We are seeing people consistently using that across the board, so you guys should be very proud of yourselves in regards to that. Again, the push for this week, as I stated in our weekly scoop, is starting blocks between 3 to 5 minutes so that you guys have all the time in the world to get through majority of all of the lessons, so you guys are not behind. All right, so we have been teaching CKLA for about a week now, focusing on teaching students the routines and procedures to help them be successful throughout this lesson. As we move into lessons 6 through 10, we will be conducting placement assessments. What understanding do you have of the purpose of the CKLA placement assessments? What is the purpose behind it?
Are you asking us?
And again, you also do have, I print out the placement and all the above.
Just I guess to go over the skills so far that we've been going over as far as the sounds, recognizing like vocabulary words, understanding the stories that they're reading, comprehending.
Putting together compound words.
So what are they bringing from the table? So think about,
We can
yeah, did I give you the whole package? Did I?
Oh.
Yeah, you got everything. This is just Max copy. All right, anybody else want to add on to the placement assessment, like the purpose and understanding behind it? Okay, so you are hitting the head out, you are leaning towards what it is. So the purpose of the placement assessment is to assess the phonemic awareness of the kids, the comprehension. We're also trying to figure out the decoding, how much they can decode. So they left kindergarten at a certain level, and they're supposed to be entering into first grade with some background knowledge. The placement assessment is to make sure that we're giving students giving them the proper instruction based on their skill level. And the curriculum is expected to break the class into smaller pods, so you'll actually have smaller groups based off of where they are in CKLA placement. Thoughts about that? Cool. Great. All right, so you guys start lesson 6 tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow's lesson 6. How do you plan to communicate the purpose of the assessment to your students? What is your reasoning? How are you going to introduce it to their students so that they know that this is a serious matter?
I guess like for example, the stories that we've been going over, like when they have to read a story and comprehend what they read, just like let them know like it's the same, like this the exact same thing we've been doing. So make sure we're paying attention to the vocabulary words or words that stand out, and make sure we understand what we're reading, because there'll be questions at the end of the story, just like we've been doing for the past couple of days or a week. Just trying to explain like that.
Just pump them up.
Yeah.
I'll say, show us your smarts and do your best, because it is like a test, just how we do.
Anybody else wanna add?
Just looking, is it the snacks? Is it the-
So, yeah, so we'll go in the order of how it actually is going to be assessed, because it does play a big role in how you guys are gonna be able to, rate them on it.
Okay, so I was just gonna say, just looking at it, it doesn't look that long, and I know a lot of kids may get discouraged, like last year when we used to like do the IA. So just encourage them and let them know, like, hey, we're gonna take a test, it's only 4 or 5 questions, and, you know, that kinda gets them motivated.
Get them motivated now, the above, so I do appreciate. Houston, did you wanna add on to anything?
No, they kinda said like.
Also, I just wanna go ahead and throw some shine to Turner, because this is the most Turner has talked in our council meeting. At first, without us being co-called, I just wanna just go ahead and shine that out on you, thank you.
That's a really good observation.
And you all is,
This
that's
is not
another thing.
like the church pairs. That is a really good observation, where to be like, this is how, this is all, this is the whole story.
I also would like you guys to communicate that you guys are trying to figure out what they know and how you as their teacher are going to support them. Just note that to them, letting them know like, you're helping me so that I can help you in the long run. And tell them that it's not about getting everything right. It's not really about the getting right, but just showing what they can do, okay? So just emphasizing that, because I know some kids get test anxiety, as you said about the IA, that is a thing. So in the pre-work I sent out on Sunday, and I'm so sorry that it came out, Monday. It will always come out like a couple days before. I wasn't expecting you guys to be able to do everything, but I did want you guys to at least preview the placement assessments. Are there any areas that while you were looking over the assessment that you needed clarity on?
Everything is in the skills book.
Everything is in the skills book. They do not need anything extra. That's always a plus, isn't it? Like, there's no really printing or anything like that. Any questions in regards to what you guys previewed? So I can bookmark it and make sure we talk about it.
So we just a lesson a day, lesson 6 one day, lesson 7 one day. Okay, that's it.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. And they all build off of one another. So they do build off of one another, and we'll go into specifics based off of that so that you guys do know.
We norm on what the other kids are doing.
So that is the plus part about this. They already built in what you're expected to do while kids are testing. Second grade is a little bit different than first grade. They have a little bit more testing to do. But let's jump right in since everybody has a question. Let's go ahead and just jump in. So the first thing you guys will notice is that I gave you guys a packet. The first activity is 6-1, which is considered snacks. This is done independently, okay? So tomorrow you will go ahead and you'll say, hey, you guys will be reading a text today. It is called Snacks. You're gonna read it on your own. Got it. They will read Snacks. And then after they are done, immediately after they are done, they're gonna go ahead and they're going to answer the questions. This is where we have to norm. The goal is to grade these as soon as possible because it depends on what's happening the next day for the kids. So if the kids get 4 or more wrong on this assessment, they're now shifting to, they will no longer do reading assessments, they won't do this anymore. You will be pulling them individually and doing the word reading assessment.
And this will be during intervention.
No, this is during your CKLA block. While the kids are testing, the activities, there are already activities built into your plan. So if you wanna go ahead and everybody goes to page. Go ahead to page 80, nope, I lied to you, that's too far. Go to page 78 in your teacher manual. These assessments will take 20 to 30 minutes. The first assessment is the snacks. That's the very first one. Once students are done with snacks, they then have independent work. It's under the language and the grammar. What activities will they be able to do independently that does not require you guys to support them? What activities should you guys plan to have ready for them?
Are you sound like outside of the book?
It's out here in the materials. What pages are they gonna be doing? What materials will they be doing?
Activity page is 6.3, 6.4.
Yeah, so while they're done, once they're done with 6.1 and 6.2, so reading the story and answering the questions, you then tell them, now it's time for you to go to the next page, 6.3 and 6.4, and they're doing that independently inside their skills book. Remember, everything is in their skills book. So once they're done, you're just telling them to turn to the next page and continue working. This does not require you guys to do anything, that is just self-explanatory for them. But it does say that you guys need to be prepared because they need scissors and glue for this activity.
So, quick question. So
Yeah.
once they finish with the assessment, I say just turn the page or do they rip it out?
That's where I want to talk about norming on how do you guys want to grade the assessments. Would you like them to stay inside the books, or would you like them to tear it out ahead of time and give it to you?
I might have mine tear it out. We practiced it yesterday with exit tickets.
Okay.
I was gonna say, tear it out. Like you said, right, before they take it.
You could either take it and do it before or after.
Okay, yeah, tear it out before.
Okay. So we're norming that you guys are tearing out 6.1. So you're norming that you're taking 6.1, so page 23 and 25.
I mean, will we have to take 23 since it's just a story? We can just do.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, you don't have to take that one out if you don't want to.
25 and 26 for this package.
Yep, so then you're all norming that you guys are having students rip out 25 and 26. Okay.
Okay, I do have a question
Yeah.
as far as the activity page.
Mhm.
I just kind of feel like scissors and glue is gonna be a big distraction, and like we will have to like keep stopping to like help kids. So, do they have to, like, are they able to like
If you want
find
to,
the word
yep, they can
and
do
then
that.
rewrite it? Can we do it like that?
I'm okay with that. Are you guys okay with instead of cutting it out, because we do know that's a distraction, are you okay with what Franklin is saying is have them just write the words and then rewrite the words again
Yeah.
instead of cutting them out? Okay, that's fine.
And then I have one more question.
Yeah.
Are we not allowed to read the story to
Nope.
them? Okay.
So you are not reading the story to them at all. It's independent. There is no scaffolding like, hey, sound it out, anything like that. Tell them that they have 20 to 30 minutes. Once that time is up, you guys will figure out, we'll go from there. I know sometimes it will be frustrating to kids, but this helps you know where they are at, okay?
So if they have a question like the word.
So are we just walk around?
Just
doing our
walking and
laps?
mentoring. Yep, just monitoring. Any questions about that? Okay. So okay, great. So then we're gonna move on to the next day, which is 7.1, all right? The kids who do well on the snacks activity, they actually move on to, sorry, hold on, it's my back, but they move on to the next story. So the kids who do well on the first story, they move on to the next story, which is Prince Vincent. The kids who are not, and we can keep going into our books. And again, it tells you exactly word for word how to take care of this. Okay. So the kids who did not do well on snacks, you will be pulling them one by one and giving them the word assessment. And you'll be scoring them.
No,
And that's
that's,
it.
Yep.
they're not reading the story at all.
No, they're not reading the story at all. They are just strictly going straight to the word assessment.
And word assessment is day 2.
Word assessment will start day 2. Correct.
After we grade.
After we grade and see how you guys are doing. Yes, correct.
So,
Okay.
quick question. So
Yeah.
the ones that didn't do well, what are they doing? Like, what outcome?
Great, because then you go back to the lovely materials and it tells you during that time period, they are working on activity pages
Okay.
7.4 and 7.5 while you guys are calling.
So the kids who did do well was on 7.2.
So kids that are doing well, they actually move on to the next activity, the next reading.
And then do 7.4 when they finish with that?
Yes.
Okay.
So start at 6.2.
Mhm.
Doing well, you're going to 7.2.
Mhm.
Doing well, you're going to 7.4.
Yep, so 7.4 will be after they're done with once they're completed. This will be their independent work. I'm
Like
sorry.
another day.
The independent work. 7.4 is the independent work after they finish the test.
Oh, okay.
7.4 is the independent work that the kids will be working on. So while you are pulling, kids are working on independent work. This is all independent. You should not have to do anything besides redirecting their talking.
Okay, and scholarships didn't do well on page 6.2 snacks is getting full.
For word reading assessments, correct.
If we don't finish the word reading assessment on Thursday, are we able to do it during the intervention?
So no, you don't have to worry about it because 6.6, lesson 6 through 10 gives you all those days to finish pulling all those kids.
Okay.
Each day, the kids will have something to do. There's always gonna be something for the kids to do independently while you continue pulling kids. So there will always be something for them to do, so you don't have to pre-plan anything. Alright, so now, once they are done, if they do not do well, if they don't do well on Prince Vincent,
Mhm.
then you have to give them the word assessment, reading assessment. So if they don't do well, they go to the word reading assessment.
Okay.
But if they do well, they go to the next story, which is the beach.
Okay.
So the kids who are constantly doing well, they're constantly gonna get reading passages until they're not doing well anymore.
So say they don't do well at 8.1, they gonna have to go back to word read
They
assessment.
will do a word reading assessment, yes.
That would be back at
7.1, you will use 7.1 every single day. Starting on lesson 7.
So if, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
No, so if they're like not doing well each day, they do the word reading assessment every day.
You only have to do it one time, and then once you have that grading done, then they just do independent work.
Each
So
day.
each day they'll do the independent work. So once you give them the word reading assessment the first time, they're done. You already have your score. You'll be ready for them.
So they don't have to read no more stories. Like once they don't do good on one story, that's it.
So
Okay.
what would be the independent work if they didn't get past 6.2?
If they don't do 6.2 every day, it tells you, it says, we're independent work, independent 30 minutes, activity 7.475. It'll tell you exactly what the activity is, independent work is.
So for those that go straight to the independent work, once they finish, what would they do?
So if they do finish, so then this is where you do have to either make sure you have books in the classroom or
Okay.
something for them to do. So if they do finish your independent work before the lesson, before the end of the day, have them grab a book that they can read, something simple. We're not trying to get on Chromebooks or anything like that, so just have books available for them to just read quietly until the lesson is over with.
Okay.
Questions about that? Again, I did go through every single lesson. It does tell you exactly verbatim what to say. It tells you exactly how you should conduct it and get them ready. Only thing that we're just asking for is to make sure that we're just norming on how we are grading, okay? Now,
We may need to make copies of this for everyone in our,
it's already in the book.
I need to see.
Yeah.
many copies?
No, you just take it out that book.
Oh, if they're.
Yeah, you just tell them to come up to the table. You can just bring the book with them.
Y'all say no. That's a big issue.
Girl, you know I hurt my heart when I had to go back and print out the papers this morning just so y'all can have a copy
Yes.
and practice. It hurt my heart a little bit, but I was like, let them have it in their hands so that they can practice and see it. Okay. All right. So now let's talk about. We did a really good job of just answering questions. Please make sure if there are any lingering questions. After you read the lesson, you can come find me if you have any lingering questions. I'll make sure to walk the block. All right. So we did talk about what skills should students have mastered in first grade? Before they came to you, what should they have mastered?
CBC words,
CBC words, decoding,
some constant
words,
diagraphs.
some
and
constant
constant
diagraphs, some
clusters.
trick words,
Blending.
clustered, blending,
Are controlled, they start.
R control. They should also have brought in some, at least some understanding of long vowel sounds.
Yeah, long vowels, short vowels.
They also should be able to do sentence structures. They should know what a capital letter is, punctuation, and to make a complete sentence. Also, comprehension. they should have some type of comprehension when it comes to listening and telling stories and understanding like the narrative structure. And then spelling, they should at least be able to do word patterns, so the CVC, the CVCC, the CCVC. What Lord. Also, you need the breakdown of what that means. You got it. I just want to make sure I'm done. This is the first day. I just want to make sure I am not speaking in
first
code.
grade, did they learn how to like go back in the text and find the answer?
Franklin, did you?
We did, during Wit and Wisdom, like a little bit, when we read informational text, and, we started to do, topic paragraphs, so they used to have to go back and find details to
Okay.
write a paragraph.
So they should have some familiarity with that, and if you guys have been doing the lessons this week, they should be able to be like using the skill that you guys have taught, this year. So far. Alright, so by the end of first grade, because I want to make sure we get some time to at least practice administering, and also looking at the tracker, because we are not using, what was that platform? Illuminate. We're not using Illuminate. We're using a CKLA tracker, and I want you guys to make sure that you guys see where your name is and how to score. Alright, so by the end of first grade, the students should be able to combine words, blend and segment it, and manipulate phonemes and spoken words, decode grade level. They should be fluent by the end of the first grade. They should be able to ask and answer questions to demonstrate understanding of key concepts. My computer just did crazy stuff. Got it? Alright. Accuracy and fluency. So that reading part, we really want to push them to be able to be fluent when they read. Turner did a great job yesterday, and I know you guys all have, but I saw specifically Turner having the kids read after him and then correcting them when they weren't on task. So let's try that again. Showing them what fluency actually looks like when you read. They should be able to apply grade, grammar rules, spell correctly irregular and high frequency words, at least begin to make paragraphs with correct spelling and punctuation. They should be able to share ideals and communicate with each other their ideals. And they should be able to describe the characters, settings, major events, story, and key details. Anything, anybody want to add? Alright, so we already went through the structure of the assessment, so kudos to us. So just remember things to make sure you stamp. Students need to be engaged in activities that will allow you to maintain a calm environment. Making sure that when you grade accurately, taking your time, because this essentially is setting you up for groups. Just this will actually, it should align to DIBELS testing as well. So if they're not doing well in CKLA, you guys are doing DIBELS testing next week, they should match up with what you got. Alright, what challenges do you see arising during the placement assessments that we need to address?
I was gonna ask, is it okay if we have them put a folder up, like to block out their answers, so if they're working at their desk, like having Ms. McIver, just to put a folder up. I used to do it with exit tickets, only so that we have like accurate data, cause I know if they're doing it by themselves for 20, 30 minutes, they're gonna look at
Somebody else.
somebody else's paper, and then the data won't be as accurate.
I'm okay with that.
I guess I can
Oh, and
see
you-
that too. Maybe.
Are you laughing?
Right, cause like, I'm just thinking about last year when my students did it, they play too much.
Or you can also, for your testing, with your thought process, all you have to do is just make them separate their desk.
Yeah, okay.
Just make them separate. They all just have one desk. Like it's
Yeah,
just
no.
instead of sitting together, you
Yeah.
can just
I got you.
be apart. If that's your concern.
I got you.
How on this can we norm on, this is gonna be their book, I baby on's book, but surely I'm not gonna be like right here, cat and checking, right?
Now you're gonna rip it out for him.
But am I right in front of him, like marking that he is, just curious?
I mean, you can, or you want to have a folder up or something in front of it, like you can do it like this or something like that.
Well, he's looking at, I can't have a folder, but he's looking at.
He won't be looking at that one.
Okay.
Turn the
What?
page real quick. Let me see. No, he will be
Oh,
having.
Let me take out
But
that.
that-
You will give him this. You will give him this. You'll actually give him
Got
this,
Great,
and
great,
they're
great.
taking a piece of paper. I meant to say that. They're
Great.
taking a piece of
Okay.
paper and they're just covering as they go, sliding it
Perfect.
down, so that
Makes
they
so
can.
much sense.
So sorry. It is inside of your.
Can that be included in our practice so we can see where?
Yeah, of course. Alright. So the things I did name was classroom management, students may need help with independent work, which they shouldn't, it should be self-explanatory, but if they do have questions, how are we going to think about as a grade level, not gonna spend time here, how are you guys going to address those who do need a little bit extra support? So like Caleb or something, you know, Caleb may need extra support. Your early finishers, we already named them, make sure they have books. And frustrated students, just that constant reassurance of like, hey, it's okay, this is not a right or wrong thing. Alright, yes, we got 10 minutes to practice, I'm so excited, which is a record for Steels because usually it takes me a little bit longer. Alright, so we're gonna actually review and how you administer the lessons, but first I need everybody to go ahead and get onto the computers. I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys your tracker. I see Franklin, you're already in there. Turner, I'm putting it at the top of y'all email so that you guys don't have to search. I would say please bookmark this. It's at the top of your email, so just go ahead and click it. Alright, just let me know. See Franklin. Alright, once you guys get in, at the bottom of the taskbar, you're gonna have to scroll over. You're gonna look for grade 1 BOY.
You said grade 1.
Grade 1 BOY. Oh, sorry, I lied to you, not grade 1. Slide on to grade 2 BOY. My apologies. Grade 2 BOY. The screen may look a little bit big, so you guys can go ahead and make sure you guys just probably bring it down to 75 or 50 just so you get a bigger picture. I'll say 75 because boy, I can't see anything after that.
I know.
After 50, I was just like that. You see Franklin's name at the top. You guys will have to scroll down to your classroom. If you do not see any of your kids, certain kids' names on your roster, please let me know because I'm responsible to add them on there so that you guys can score them. And I'll make sure to go in before we start testing.
So we look for all our kids' names?
You don't have to at this moment, but like when you get a chance, make sure that I didn't forget anybody because I do need to make sure that they're on the tracker because this is how we're gonna keep track of their scores. Yes.
We need tomorrow, starting tomorrow.
Okay, so then
Just
I will go ahead and make sure I put them on. Turner, did you find your role with some kids yet?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. And then Houston, you're at the bottom. No offense, sorry. So, pretty bumbles. Alright. This is where you guys will be taking the score. I gave you a hard copy just in case you guys are people that love to just do the hard copy. If not, you can have your computer up and you can mark as you go. You are giving the score of 1 and 0. Either they got it or they don't. It's either 1, there is no A, B, C, D. You're literally just saying 1, 0, and it's gonna give you the score. It's gonna calculate the score for you. So go ahead and pick a student's name really quickly and just go ahead and play with giving a 1, 2, I'm sorry, not a 1, 2, a 1 or a 0 and see how that actually plays with the scoring.
And which problem is it in? Like I see snacks.
So just go ahead. So you would go, so when they answer a question number 1, you're gonna go to 1, you're gonna put a 1 or a 0.
Oh,
So
for each
1, yeah, so if 1 is like they got it right, 0 is like they didn't get it right.
Okay.
And you're gonna do that for each one. There's 8 questions and snacks, so that means that you are looking for
Okay.
a 1 or a 0 in each of those. Reminder, so I'm on Franklin. So I gave a kid, 1, it's 5 or less, I believe, 5 or less, 5 or more that continue on. 4 or less, they do word reasoning. And it actually will tell you, so go ahead right now, pick a kid, give 4 right. Give 4 right, and then the rest wrong.
What did you say the score was?
1 or 0.
1 or 0. Oh, you're talking about, okay, so it'll say 4 or less, they'll go to word reading. 5 or more, they'll go to the next thing. But what's crazy, you guys? It actually tells you. It tells you what to do next.
Reading. Okay.
So Franklin, if you scroll down to Reagan Moore, I've already scored 1 for her, and it shows that she will go to word reading. It tells you what she needs to do next.
I'm gonna do somebody.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know.
It tells you what to do next. You see at the inner side it says go to, you'll say reading record. So then it says, if you look at the next section, whether it be needs Prince Vincent, it's gonna say no or yes. That is how you determine who is next, what activity is going next, which is actually a blessing. Little things. All right.
They did this, let's say they failed, they did not get 4 correct. And then, so the next day I did this.
Yep.
And then the next,
Once you have completed everything,
just this.
that's it. They're gonna have to just do the independent work, for the rest of the week. Yep,
Okay.
each lesson.
You said we just put 1 right.
A 1 or a 0, 1 being right, 0 being wrong.
Gotcha.
Alright, so I love that Ms. Mack wanted to just talk about the word reading, word reading assessment. So let's go ahead and scroll over to the word reading assessment portion, which is going to probably be your last, word reading in isolation. So it also tells you the breakdown of what each word list is. So CBC words, CCBC, all that good stuff, okay? So, when they come up to you, you'll have a blank sheet of paper. You'll give them, it's gonna be similar to the Dibbles test. You're gonna give them this sheet while you have either your computer or the paper copy in front of you. 1 or 0, either they got it or they don't, okay? Alright.
Where you at with
On the thing, scroll all the way over, keep going. There you go, word reading recognition. There's word reading in isolation. Alright.
And they would do the, like, the whole word.
So that's where it does come into play, so this is where it's important to make sure you bookmark page 86. It gives you the rules of how you do this.
And you come to the flag. things coming
What time do you have to pick up children? 55 or 50?
I mean, we got a transition,
Got it, right, so.
I said 52.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and this is what I want you to do because I do wanna make sure that we at least wrap up for full understanding. I want you guys to read this word reading assessment. Please email me, text me, or put in our group chat any follow-up questions that you may have that we can address via text message in our group chat, okay?
They don't have this.
They don't, so you would have to, you keep this in front of them with the paper in front of you as they go down, yep. The only thing that you'll probably need is, out of their book, is the actual recognition sheet, so that you can check mark. You can ask them to bring it to you when they come up.
So as they're saying, as they're saying these words, we're just checking.
Yep.
Or
and then-
we're doing it in our computer.
Or you're doing it in your computer.
Skip this.
Skip the middleman.
So many material, I wanna say, like,
I just want you to name, remember, at one point, we didn't have enough, and now we got enough. We got all the limits in the world. Alright, so, computer up, I would just suggest you have the computer up, giving it a 1 or a 0. But, you need to make sure you probably do need it, because CVC words, this is all, first 2 rows are CVC words, the next 2 rows are, no, CVC, CCV words, clusters. 4 starts with the consonant clusters.
I mean, I don't mind doing both.
Yeah.
I can just look
And then fill it out later. Just make sure you put those names and the numbers on it so that you do not mix up books or anything like that. Okay? So again, you do have until lesson 10 to get everybody in. You do not have to rush and get it done on the first day. Okay? You have until lesson 10 to get everything done. After lesson 10, we'll meet again and we'll talk about placements. Alright, let's go ahead and end our conversation for today. How are you feeling